They didn't want me to say, they wanted me to say the word Bible at least 3 times in the show without saying God damn in front of it. But those have been really, they didn't want us to do a thing, they didn't want us to do one called Your Vote Doesn't Matter on the election. They're all kind of, you know, Hollywood standard kind of Team America left guys there. But other than that, they've really been remarkably behind us. And the big shock, and I think that this is time to just, you know, pull out your guitars and sing Something in the Air by Thunderclap Newman. It's the best news that I've heard in a long time. You know, we pitched this show with a certain cynical bend, saying even if people hate us, they will watch the show in order to write hate letters. And I don't like to pitch that way, I really don't, but it's part of the realities of finances in television. And I think, and I'm not trying to compliment Showtime and then take it back, so I'm only saying this a little bit, but I think that they had in their minds, even if people hate these two bozos, a few may turn it on. They never said that, so I'm just being very cynical now in a way that I don't like to be. But that may be why they bought the show. But certainly, in our hearts, we thought we were kind of surfing on a little bit of a rather cynical point of view. Well, the letters came in after the first few shows of Bullshit, and Showtime was flabbergasted, but not as shocked as we were. They were overwhelmingly positive. Now, there's a socioeconomic group that subscribes to Showtime. It's a very small sample. It's a little network that's, you know, just above the gay fishing network. I mean, not a lot of people watch it. But within that small little world, the reaction we got back was overwhelmingly positive, and many of the letters started with the idea, I'm an atheist, and there's never been a show that actually didn't insult my intelligence, and thank you, Showtime, for putting this on. In this really positive outpouring towards us, which really, really surprised us. And there was this thing that happened at Showtime, kind of like when the networks discovered in the 60s, at least I try to compare it to this, that there were people of other races in this country besides just white people, and it wouldn't be all Leave It to Beaver, but maybe they would set the path to have a Cosby Show eventually. It almost seemed like Showtime discovered that there was a percentage of the population that might have some money that would watch TV that didn't want to be insulted, and maybe we were surfing on that and not the cynicism, and that's the best news I've gotten in, 10 years. So I hope some of you wrote those in, and if you did, they were noticed by Showtime, and thank you very much, because that may be season 3 because of you guys.
My question is, hi Penn. My question, I think the best show on television is Bullshit. Possibly the second best is The Simpsons. And I understand it's two-parter. I understand that Bullshit was nominated for a Emmy or something, and I'd be curious as to what category, as to what category and who and so forth. And Teller is known as the silent one who doesn't talk. In the episode of The Simpsons in which Penn and Teller appear, I assume that is your voice. And is it true that true that that's the only time you have spoken on?
I wasn't there for the recording.
Are you counting today?
I just want to get a drink of water. No, he's I think Zeke's getting one, perhaps. Why don't you want to talk a little? See, I'm not a big fan of The Simpsons, but Teller is. So why don't you talk about that?
Yes, I went and recorded the voice for Teller, and after almost every Penn and Teller show, somebody comes up and says, "That wasn't really your voice, was it?" It's really quite a treat. That somehow or other, there's just something that has settled into people's minds that I don't talk. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is the perfect partnership. I mean, I'm partners with one of the most articulate men on earth, who speaks beautifully, who really takes any ideas that we have and puts them out there in language of beauty and fire, and I get to work on magic tricks, you know? It's wonderful. I don't know if I've answered your question or not, but that's...
I believe that we won a Writers Guild Award for, I forgot what episode. Do you remember what episode?
I think it was it the drug episode?
Might have been the War on Drug episode. We won a Writers Guild, and we're up for another one this year. And I also forgot, it couldn't have been the War on Drugs last time because that was not the first season. Maybe it's this season it's the War on Drugs one. And then we were nominated for an Emmy for Best Music, which we had nothing to do with, and Best Titles, which we had nothing to do with. And we were also nominated for Best Show and Best Writing. What's that? I don't know who beat us on the music, and I don't know who beat us. Oh, we actually won one of those, like the music or one of the other ones. Yeah, with the first season we won music or titles. Second season we did not win, but we were nominated for Best Show and Best Writing, which we'd like to think we had something to do with. Although I only say that half joking because the staff of Bullshit, there's an LA crew and there's a Vegas crew, and the Vegas crew is our guys from the Penn and Teller show, Nate and Zeke, who are back there, but also Michael Goudot, who is the juggler in Lance Burton's show, and just his heart is absolutely with all of you, and he's been fighting the good fight forever on this, and he writes the shows with us. But more important, perhaps, is the crew in LA, led by Star Price, which is a lot, in a big part, made up of people who feel they're doing penance. These are all people who worked in television. A lot of them actually worked on supernatural, paranormal shows. And some of them were even going back to interview the same people they'd interviewed before, and were so relieved that it would finally be edited a little differently. That crew actually puts together the shows in rough form. We come up with the ideas with them, and we get an outline with them. Then they go out to the field and do stuff. We never show up at any of the field shoots. Anybody you see speaking on the show, and several people here, Michael Shermer, Christopher Hitchens, I think several others have been on Bullshit, and they'll tell you that we're never anywhere near there. And one of the reasons is because a lot of people believe that when they're talking to the person, that they're not really interacting with us, and that's probably a good thing. I also want to say, and this is very important to me, and no one else may care very much at all, but I want to say this. I believe that Bullshit is a show that is fair and biased. and that's a very important term, and I mean that with no joke at all. We do not do Michael Moore stuff. We fight really hard to never do Michael Moore stuff. And